guys, this is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, I'm doing this for my brothers, my peoples over at the Fandom Collective. And I thank you guys so much for offering me your platform to kind of babble. And I want to share this with you because, you know, I've been having thoughts. And I want to share this with you guys and see how you feel about this. And, you know, it occurred to me, I am what is considered essential services, right? So I still go to work every day. And, you know, I'm driving through the land and in the valley, and I'm looking around and I'm thinking to myself, you know, it's a much easier commute these days. You know, there's probably about half the traffic or maybe even less than that on the road. So, you know, I'm getting to work and I'm getting home from work a lot easier, you know, than I used to. If I have to stop for gas, it's like there's nobody there. You know, there's probably about 50% less roadkill on the roads, you know, when I'm driving back and forth and everything. And of course, you know, I'm seeing a lot of vacant stores, parking lots are empty. You know, the grass is growing greener. There's not people trampling all over the grass. I breathe in deeply, and even though I might be getting a nostril full of virus, at least the air feels pure. You know, there's no smoke in the air. And, you know, I'm thinking to myself, man, this is interesting because I remember a few years ago now, I guess a couple of years ago, I'm watching Avengers, you know, Infinity War. And I remember kind of listening to Thanos, you know, and his reasoning for the reasons why, you know, he was doing what he was doing. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, this is very interesting because, you know, I've been hearing a lot about, you know, like depopulation over the years, you know, Bill Gates and, you know, a bunch of other wannabe do-gooders and stuff. And, you know, listening to Thanos, I remember thinking in the movie theater, this is one big metaphor for depopulation. You know, the whole Avengers Endgame, Infinity War stuff. The dude was talking about snapping his fingers and making 50% of everything disappear, 50% of everybody, you know, disappear. And his reasoning was kind of noble because he's like, there'll be more natural resources. The strain won't be on the earth as much as it used to be. You know, there won't be, you know, the hungry or the hunger problem. Poverty will disappear. You know, the earth will kind of, in a way, get bigger, you know, and more plentiful. And so I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, I got kind of the chills when I was watching it because I'm like, could this be predictive programming? You know, could this be something that's getting us ready for something? I remember thinking that in the movie theater. You know, I'm kind of a thinker, you know, sometimes. And so it kind of came together with me when I'm driving into work, and I'm seeing oh, God, kind of 50% less of everything, you know? Now, of course, you know, when I think about it, you know, when all of this stuff started, you know, it did remind me of that because it's like, first, what was it? It was school, right? I think it was school first, and it was just you know, school just disappeared, you know? Then it was the stores that were closing, you know? What's going on, you know? And then it was visiting family and friends. Family and friends, all of a sudden, we don't have access to each other anymore. You know, Mr. Stark, I don't want to die. I don't want to die, Mr. Stark. You know, but I disappeared out of my friends' lives. You know? Now, of course, we didn't all die. You know, there have been some casualties, but most of us, we didn't just vanish. We're just at our homes. You know, we've disappeared into our homes, and that's where many of us are, but we're definitely not in the earth. We're definitely not on the streets. And it just got a little bit creepy for me the other day when I started thinking about that because, yeah, like I said, this was kind of in line with some of the things I've been hearing over the years, you know, about depopulation and stuff. And in light of that, you kind of have to wonder, where's Thanos in all of this, you know? If there had to be a Thanos that's causing all of this, I guess you could say it's actually the virus, perhaps. The virus is Thanos, you know, that's just making everything disappear, you know, 50% of everything. And the thing about it is we can't go back in time. You know, we can't go back in time to fix this. You know, we can just go back to our lives. And I like to think that eventually that's what we're going to do, because fear has been ruling all of us, and with good reason. We hear about these crazy statistics every morning. You turn on the morning news or the evening news, and I don't remember the last time I heard good news, on the morning or the evening news. The media is nothing but bad news, and if anybody tries to bring good news, then they get slapped down, with the awful reality of fatalities and, how we haven't hit that curve yet. And there's more on the horizon, and then they wonder why so many people are anxious out here, but even though you can't go back in time, you can go back in your mind. You can go back to a way of thinking before you were afraid, before you were ruled by anxiety and fear and dread. And sooner or later, you begin to reach out, even if it's on the phone, even if it's on the internet. You begin to reach out to one another and remind each other about what love feels like. You can feel each other, through the phone or through the internet when you're talking to one another, and you're not just expressing fear and talking about how, you don't know where this is all going to end. You just reach out, man, and that's what we can do. And sooner or later, I believe that once we stop being ruled by fear and, quite frankly, manipulated by fear, we'll find our way back to each other. And we'll remember that you only get to live life once. The other day I saw a family parked in the street, and they were singing happy birthday to grandma who was standing on the curb. So it was her birthday, but they couldn't embrace. You know what I mean? You have people who are passing away who can't have decent funerals because people can't come together. And much like the Avengers, sooner or later, we are going to have to assemble, because we used to have this saying in this country that united we stand and divided we fall. Well, we can only be divided for so long. And I hope that we get to a point where we're satisfied with a treatment, or we're satisfied with a course of action which will allow us to be united once again, and not ruled in fear. And I look forward to that day. I look forward to the day when I'm stuck behind a school bus again, or a train crossing, having to deal with bumper-to-bumper traffic, getting to work and everything. I'm late now because, I got caught behind a school bus or something like that. This is our way of life, and like I said before, we only go around once. So right now it feels like we're on hold, we're on pause, but whatever it takes, we're going to get it back, whatever it takes, all right? The virus is Thanos, and it's not going to win. We will triumph. We will prevail. And that's it for the crazy metaphors, guys. I just wanted to share that with you. Let me know what you think about that. Is it too crazy? Is it too out there? Am I reaching? And once again, guys, thank you very much to Fandom Collective for putting me on. And, hopefully we can rock together soon. All right, guys, I will see you over on my channel, The Gospel According to Mark with a C. And that's it for me now. All right, catch you later. Rock on.